Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Oh.
Hey guys, this is the Lazy Revolver podcast.
Wait, E3.
Now with
Yes.
special
Number
guest
3.
Zane.
Half-Life has a E in it.
Half-Life 3.
Confirmed.
Exactly. That's the reason why they had Evolve. It's because Half-Life 3 is coming out right after Evolve. They're putting the beta code
Okay, yeah.
So for those of you
as an Easter egg.
who haven't picked up on it yet, E3 was this past week.
All right.
Started Monday,
Yeah.
right? Went to Thursday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
I thought it went through the weekend. Did it not go through the weekend?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Who are we talking to?
Huh?
Who are we talking to?
Talking to the audience.
Oh.
Hi, audience.
Hi, audience.
You forget
and
people,
welcome to the
people watch this.
Stage Runner Podcast.
I never really liked that guy.
I'm your host, Nate Dogg. To my left is Sage, and across from me,
Zane.
Wow, you forgot his name already? That's cool.
It's Zane. It's Zane.
That's Is it Zane? Are you sure?
I'm not too
Are you
sure
sure?
anymore, actually.
Who am I? I'm having an existential crisis.
uh,
What is real life?
What it? Oh my!
Speaking of what is real life, virtual reality. No, I'm just kidding. That was an awful
Wait,
segue.
no, that
Didn't
actually
even-
kind of works.
What?
PlayStation 4's virtual reality. They
Are-
had that at E3.
What'd they do with it?
Played it. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
great.
They didn't announce
I'm glad
for
to know.
virtual reality.
They said it feels real good. It because it balances on the nose or something.
I
Maybe.
did see something. There was it wasn't No Man's Sky, but it was another space exploration. I don't remember the name of it, but it was an indie title that was
Elite Dangerous.
is that what it was? It was being used on the Oculus Rift, and the guy was saying he was in the cockpit. He had this crazy like rig controller, but he could also look around the cockpit and everything, which sounds awesome
Ooh.
to me.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I think it was an indie game though. I don't think it was any major thing. I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure.
You can hook up stuff with the Oculus to almost anything. Also,
Well,
right?
it has to be mapped. You have to. You can't just hook it up to like put into your controller.
I don't know how
and
things
go.
work. How do things work?
Technology.
Engineering?
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. Which I'm pretty sure almost all the footage, like every other E3, was PC rendered or cutscene rendered. I don't think we saw a single thing from an actual console at E3. Almost nothing. Maybe Little Big Planet.
Yeah, you could tell Little Big Planet was live because they messed
Yeah.
up like
Yeah.
2 times.
Little-
Which it was refreshing to see
Yeah.
people mess up, though. It
It was
nice.
cute.
Yeah.
It was
a
cute.
Nice announcement. I still say the bird character is the most OP in that entire thing.
Yeah, because that's the important thing about Little Big Planet is balance.
Hey, literally, all you have to do is fly around with the bird, and you can collect all the orbs.
And pick up the other players
Yeah.
instead of them actually using their special skills and things like that. I think the only problem I had with Sony's press conference is I feel like Little Big Planet was just a major chunk of that.
I also
bored me.
Also, they didn't really segue to it. They just like somebody came on stage and then it was like Little Big Planet 3. Woo. Half-Life 3.
Is that how they were?
Yeah.
Exactly like
Yeah.
that. Makes sense.
Little Big Planet 3.
Watch
that
the video
just
again.
drives it home.
I will say Sony's conference was a little bit schizophrenic.
Yeah.
They seemed
Had some
to,
technical problems too at the very beginning.
Yeah, which I do believe they sacked their sound guy. So Sage, you want to do E3 next year?
Do I want to do E3?
Yeah.
I want to? Are you asking me that because you think I sacked the sound?
No, I think that you
Microsoft Master Race.
I sacked the sound.
master race, whatever.
I definitely would like to go to E3 next year. If that's what your question was, I couldn't really tell. If you're asking me would I like to sack Sony's sound, I would do it again. I mean, I did it. I'll do it next time. Yeah, that's totally what I meant to say.
Using the word sacking just it's
Sack.
sweet sacking.
Sage and sack, just mesh together.
Sage's sack. Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh,
I know that all too well.
Santa sack.
Boo.
Okay.
Boo.
Thank you.
You're not getting any presents this year.
None. Cole. Just Cole.
But speaking on from Sony to Microsoft, just a quick jump. there was actually a lot more on Microsoft's than I thought there was going to be. One of the bigger ones being was the Halo Master Chief Collection. I think that's so awesome. I'm a little biased just because I love Halo, but I'm so excited for that, and I'm gonna definitely buy that as soon as I get an Xbox One.
Yeah, it seems like this console generation and the past console generation a little. It's all about like harping on the old games a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have 3 games up in my room that are collections of Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, and then there's the Kingdom Heart remixes.
Yes.
There's a lot of cool ideas coming out, but there's also they're remaking a lot of stuff and they're taking a lot of time with that stuff.
Well, you bring up a good point because it makes sense. A lot of games nowadays, they're really big budget games, millions of dollars being dumped into them, things like that. They kind of have to go with what is going to sell, and all those games you listed have an audience that will buy the game. You know,
Yeah.
It's hard to really dump money into a new IP, but there are some new IPs coming out, like The Division.
The Division.
The Division looks really cool.
Yep.
Order 1986, I think that's the number.
Yes.
Which looked like more of a horror game
Or is
than
it
I thought it really
1886?
was.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be this like shoot 'em up,
1886.
Yeah.
shoot 'em uppy game.
That
Looks
one
like
looks
a horror.
very good.
It looked amazing.
What else? What else was there?
There was Shape Up from, what was it, Ubisoft?
Was that the
The DDR game.
was it DDR or the workout game? Is that the
It's
same
the
thing?
workout game.
It's the workout
The Kinect
game. Okay,
workout
okay.
game.
The Kinect workout game.
Yeah.
Which is anyone else missing DDR?
I had DDR actually for a long time on PlayStation
With the
2.
dance pad?
Yeah. That was awful, though. I slid around on that
It
thing
was
so much.
awesome.
I slid around.
That was like the most active anyone was ever with their.
That is true, but I got to tell you, that Kinect game actually looks like a lot of fun for some reason. I was looking at it and I was like, oh, another workout game for Kinect? Yeah, people are going to buy this. Then I was looking at it and I was like, it actually, for some reason, just looks like a lot of fun. It looks like just the visual style of it, the fact that you're on the screen, not like a representation of you like what we did or things like that. I thought I might get it if I ever get an Xbox One. I'm gonna
if I ever get an Xbox One.
That's what
A lot of factors.
That's what this entire podcast is gonna be for me. If I ever do get a next gen console, I'm probably gonna get that game.
Well,
Yeah.
There's still a lot of like last generation now games coming out though. A lot of games are coming out for both. I guess that game isn't, but I don't know. Games like Last of Us Remastered.
Is that coming out for this generation?
Stuff.
Or the
Yes.
last generation? I still consider this generation and Xbox One and PS4 next generation. Oddly enough, I still
Yeah.
call them that.
That
It
counts as
basically
current
is.
gen right now.
I guess that's true, but
It's been a year.
I feel like they're not still full-fledged consoles yet with a full range of games and things like that. That I feel like they're still not used widely enough to be current gen. But I get what you're saying. By definition, they are current gen.
Yeah.
But what was the other game? Big drop was the Destiny alpha that came out this weekend.
Which we were playing.
Which
and
we all
was
got to play.
Awesome.
It was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
I've actually I'm a hardcore Microsoft fan. I love Xbox, was gonna get an Xbox One. Now I'm like, I don't know. I think I want a PS4 just for Destiny. It was that good.
It's really good.
For
All right,
alpha,
Are
especially.
we going into it? Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah,
We're going into it?
No, let's just tease it and let's go on to that Kinect game again. Let's talk about more.
I swear,
I'm
if
kidding.
you get
Connect
snippy with me,
Yeah. Don't you dare try to put a structure on this podcast right now. I will talk about what I want.
You complain about me putting a structure on this podcast whenever you're the one saying, "Are we doing this segue right now?" Okay, let's do this segue now.
Mr. I run the podcast.
Yeah.
I do run the podcast.
Oh, really?
I guess you and Nate are kind of like tied.
Are we going to talk about the podcast on the podcast?
the podcast?
Let's keep talking about the podcast.
Is there a podcast?
Audience?
All right. So, anyways, we are going to talk about Ubisoft's press conference
Wait,
because
wait.
you guys are ridiculous.
Weren't we
All
talking
right.
about Destiny?
We'll talk about Destiny after.
This is so
we'll
much
get to that-
jumping.
We'll get to that later. Let's talk about all the press conferences.
Okay.
Ubisoft's, in my
Best
opinion,
press
was the
conference.
best. Yes, I completely agree.
Hands down, they showed off Assassin's Creed Unity with its new co-op.
Ooh.
Yes, which
looks
looks awesome.
amazing and sexy, and I want it right now.
Yeah. Also, the little details in
Yeah.
it, like with the jumping off,
Yeah.
and he does little flips in
Yeah.
between. Just all those little details
I will
make it
say,
so cool.
I will say though, they did get a minus for showing off another Just Dance with an awkward dance number in the aisle, trying to get everyone to go along with it.
No,
You
come on,
think
you
they would
gotta
have
do that.
learned?
You gotta do that.
after, You think they would have learned after all the other ones that it just doesn't work. People are lazy, and you entertain us.
True, but I will say Just Dance is pretty fun to watch people dance to. It looks weird, but it's funny at the same time. I love Let's Plays that are Just Dance Let's
Yeah.
Plays.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny.
So future
was-
Let's Plays.
Yeah. Oh,
Just Dance.
Yeah,
confirmed. Just
Confirmed.
Dance, future Let's Plays. There was a
gonna
little
lose.
controversy around Ubisoft and talking about how there weren't any female assassins to play in co-op.
I never heard about that.
Yeah, they
Well,
were.
it was apparently promised that they would have a female, and then they didn't.
Was it?
That's what I was told by.
They already had
friend,
female
but-
assassins, correct? In the other
They
game?
have
in multiplayer.
in multiplayer, and they have one game for the PS Vita based around a female assassin.
But what it really was there. Unfortunately, it was a mix of PR where the original statement was they couldn't put female assassins in because they had already made all of the characters, and the amount of money it would cost to make a new model for a female assassin or a female assassin would be too much. But then the next day they came out and said no. What it is every person playing the co-op campaign is playing the main character. So you're all the main character. You see it through the eyes of the main character. So it doesn't make sense to play a female assassin.
I'd like the main character to be a female assassin.
Right, but I'm saying that they didn't intentionally plan that, which is a better statement in general. But that was the weird thing, was that there's a bad PR thing of, well, are they not doing it because they don't have the money? Are they not doing it because they don't want to? Are they not doing it? Like, it doesn't cost that much to put boobs on a character. So I mean, there's
I don't know,
Are you
Sage.
just saying women are boobs to you?
Yeah.
I'm
Pretty
putting
much.
you on blast.
I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
On blast.
No, it's okay. I agree.
hey, Zane, it's okay.
It's okay.
He's single right now.
it kind of works.
That's my excuse. I'm single.
Yeah.
I can disrespect women because I'm single.
With us, what were you saying? They're all the main character. Is it like the main character in different costumes? Because they don't look the same.
As in what I believe it is on. There's no split screen co-op, but it's multiplayer co-op. On your screen, you are the main character. On other people's screens, you're somebody else. So it makes sense to you. But to you, you're thinking you're playing the main character, which I think is really cool. I don't really get how it works, but it sounds really cool.
No, it makes sense. Just on your screen, it shows something different than the other person.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a hard thing
to program in.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a programmer, so I don't know
right.
anything really.
But that's where I again say it's like that makes sense if you're playing as the main character. Why not make the thing that other people are seeing? Why not make one of them female?
Yeah.
If you're not going to see who you actually are anyway, why not make one of them female and just call it a day?
Maybe they will.
Because otherwise
Maybe
you're
they
just
will.
playing a different version of the same person, and that's kind of immersion breaking.
Immersion.
I think it's
Immersion.
okay.
Whatever.
I mean, I personally don't mind if there's a woman or not in it. And if I was playing a woman, I wouldn't mind playing as a woman either. I think
Yeah.
it's...
I'm sure they got a female assassin, if not this game, in a future game. So, I did hear there wasn't any multiplayer in this game though. Like they're
is
getting
there?
rid of the competitive multiplayer.
I don't know if that's true.
That might be a
personally-
rumor, but I think I heard about that.
I'm personally okay with that because
It wasn't your favorite?
It wasn't my favorite. It was.
I think for what it was, though, it
Yeah.
was really smart.
It was
how
different.
they made it.
Yeah.
How they made it was pretty smart. I didn't enjoy it either all that much.
It was different, but assassinating in a multiplayer competitive is very difficult because you just get people that are literally running around stabbing everything.
which is what Assassin's Creed is in general.
But
I
but
disagree,
that's not
but
how
I get what you're
Assassin's
saying.
supposed to be. Assassin's supposed to
Well,
basically be the
it's-
stealthy,
yeah.
right, but that's
unseen.
how you're sounding like you haven't played the game, because the multiplayer that you get points by stealth killing.
Also,
running around and just randomly stabbing somebody gets you the least amount of points and makes you actually lose
Technically,
more.
you're also not assassins. You're the Templar, right?
Templar training as assassins, though.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the thing, though. In the multiplayer, it turned out that most of the people would just run around stabbing each other and just
But
saying, "I'll
usually
just
those-
take the penalty."
Those people would lose, though. So I mean, it depends. It all depends.
I think it's good, just not for me.
It's different.
Yeah.
It is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did Ubisoft Far Cry, right? Did they do Far Cry? Was that
We don't
or I'm
talk
thinking of
about that game.
Microsoft.
We
Really?
don't talk about Far Cry?
Really?
I'm
I am so hyped for Far Cry 4.
Wait, what's your problem with Far Cry 4?
I think
nothing's wrong with
I think
Far
he's
Cry
kidding.
4.
you're kidding, right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
kidding.
I was
It's
about
like
to
Fight
ban you
Club.
off this podcast. I was
What?
like, how
Oh,
dare
really?
you?
How are you going to ban me off this podcast?
How I can mute the left channel. Ready and mute. Did it
I'm
work?
still here.
Damn it. No,
You
but
muted me.
But but my favorite thing about Far Cry 3 was Voss. Voss was one of the best, most memorable villains I think I've ever played in a game, and I think they nailed that again with Far Cry 4. For some reason, just that little couple of seconds of that, whatever his name is, I'm sure he has a name by now, but whatever that main guy that gets out of the helicopter, whatever he
Yeah.
is, to me seems like an awesome villain.
He
It's going to be
looks-
great. He's got a great voice.
He looks very fabulous.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
pink suit? He's rocking it.
Yep.
That haircut.
Yeah. I'm just a
He's a-
little afraid that he might be too much Voss clone.
Yeah, I can see that.
I would be okay with that. I'd be okay with the Voss clone. Personally, I
It's
feel
a
like
good
Voss
character. It's
Voss died too soon. And spoiler: Voss died too soon in the last game. So I think I want more Voss, and if they put more Voss in this one, I'm okay with that. Beautiful skyboxes too. I think it was like the Himalayas or whatever.
yeah.
Really pretty. I
Yeah,
hope you can actually scale them.
think.
That'd be really cool. If you could actually scale
Maybe.
everything you see. I highly doubt it.
Next generation, man.
Yeah, next gen. Everything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Not anything.
Not anything.
Just
it's
video
not
games.
limitless.
Just some stuff. You know, Star Wars 13 isn't possible.
Really? Never?
Yeah, they
Like, it
canceled
can't-
that, didn't they?
Yeah, they canceled it.
But
That makes me really sad. It looks so cool.
Battlefront. Holy crap.
They didn't show shit.
They didn't, but I'm so excited.
Also, the stuff. I'm
So
excited,
excited.
too.
I was
but
more excited off of the earlier teaser
This
than
one.
what they showed.
I'm
yeah,
still
they
excited.
showed. It was cool that they showed like the development of it and everything.
Right.
But whenever you think about it, they said this is all in-engine footage. Which, whenever you think in-engine, you're like, oh, this is gameplay.
Yeah.
In-engine just basically means that's what it could look like, minus all the factoring in movement tracking or like all the
And
different
down
things.
res to low poly figures.
right.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
not gonna look like that, even though it's still gonna look beautiful.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is we haven't had a Battlefront game for how long? 4 years? 2, 3? Somebody's gonna yell at me for not having this
Should I
fact
look
right.
it
It
up?
was-
Is it a
No,
lookup thing?
Nah, it's whatever. It's
I think it was like 2000.
We're not here to be correct.
2006.
We haven't had one in a
somewhere.
while, and like even Battlefront 2 that came out, that was the last thing that came out. It looks old. It looks blocky and everything like that. So even just a HD reboot would make me happy. It was a great game, and I'm really excited to see what they do now with this one. I think the environments are what's really gonna like sell that game.
And it sounds like they're studying them a lot. Like they traveled
Yeah.
to Antarctica or
Yeah.
To
studied
the
snow.
sets.
Yeah.
They went to all of the Star Wars sets.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
To jump off that, EA's press conference.
pretty generic.
sports.
I just didn't like it from them focusing on extremely sports. It wasn't for me. And for them to release, I guess, dev diaries as a way to build hype just felt as like sort of a easy cop out.
I agree and I disagree. I think the biggest thing, I would have liked to see more gameplay of a lot of games. There was a lot of more trailers and commercials and not much gameplay this E3. But I will say one thing I really like that they did was I feel like there was a more of a shift towards names and developer names. Oop, I hit my mic. The developer names, like bringing out the team or bringing out somebody who works on the team to talk about it. Putting a name to things. The dev diaries. I feel like they're trying to build more emotion and more connection to the people making the game than the game itself, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I like what they were trying to do.
Interesting. Were they the ones? Is EA responsible for Battlefield?
Yes.
Yes.
They announced that right there.
Hardline.
Yeah.
Hardline. I think that looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
it looks awesome.
it doesn't look too to me at least. I'm not much of a shooter, but it doesn't look too different from Battlefield.
Yeah.
But with some cool game modes.
A little bit. I guess. I'm a little bit scared about that because they haven't fully fixed Battlefield 4 yet, and they're already announcing a new one.
Maybe they're doing that on purpose, though. Shift the attention away from Battlefield 4. Although I think Battlefield 4 is stabilized out pretty well. I think a lot of the original anger about it has died down. I think it's better.
Is
Maybe we'll
Hardline
find
like
out.
a full title, or is it like?
It's a full title.
Is
It's
it
essentially
$59.99 starting price, or is it going to be
I
like one of
believe
those?
it's going to be $59.
Is it? I
Yeah.
thought it was just gonna be like almost like a DLC type price.
Well, the way they were talking about it is it's going to be episodic. It's probably going to price out. The full thing's going to be around 60, maybe a little bit more.
I guess we'll see in time. The biggest thing with Hardline that I saw was I like the fact that the maps don't start off destroyed. Which in fact I think I was watching the Hardline beta with you, Nate, or not the beta, the Hardline gameplay with you, and I was like, oh look, the city's not destroyed. That's great. And you're like, give it a second, and then literally like 2 more minutes in, buildings are collapsing and coming down, and I was like, oh, there's where the money went into the destructible physics.
That was me, by the way.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Nate, screw you. Zane,
Screw you too.
yes, screw you too. I just everybody screw off.
Okay, it's Battlefield. It is about a battlefield.
True.
If buildings are not getting destroyed,
Although I do think it's
What?
weird that they're taking out soldiers essentially in Hardline. Your SWAT and your random terrorists.
yeah.
But you have like military grade
Yeah.
stuff.
Right. That's true.
You're murdering out of military
Yeah.
grade.
It could have been just called Hardline, but I feel they put Battlefield because
Well, it's the name.
it's to put the series tag on it.
I just think it's weird. I think it is quite odd that there is no soldiers in
Yeah.
that game. There, at least from what they showed.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it is a different feel to it though than it's just military. Every single person looks pretty much the same, just with different colors.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of tell the difference between a cop and a crook,
Yeah.
which is cool.
I'm hoping that they bring some more levolution.
Levolution.
Yeah. It's what they call the whole
the level
destructo.
changes.
The level changes.
Interesting.
I hope
I
they
learned
bring.
something today.
Yeah. I hope they bring more of that because it seemed that Battlefield 4 they had it for a few of the maps and then a couple DLC probably, and then it kind of died off.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Levolution, did you guys see Rainbow Six Siege?
Oh, that one was sexy.
That looks
was
real good.
Great announcement, great reveal.
All right, everyone wants to say something different. So, Zane, you go first since you brought it up.
Oh my
what was
gosh,
your
what am I
favorite
saying?
thing
About Siege?
about Siege? What was your favorite thing?
I mean, it's kind of like the. Okay, I'm gonna go with the non-obvious thing, so you guys can use it if you want to. One thing I thought was really cool was how cinematic it was in game. Like picking up that hostage, she was very active as you moved her, and she got injured and all this stuff. So it made the game feel much more real and fun.
Nate,
I
what was
thought.
yours? What was your favorite thing about Siege?
Favorite thing is that you could basically blow open your own path from going to the first floor to the second even. That's just awesome.
Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, my favorite thing was actually something that wasn't shown. was kind of shown. Since it was all from the SWAT team's perspective, the pregame for the terrorists to be able to start setting up and everything like that, and the pregame for the SWAT team to go in, put a drone in there, plan. Do they want to go through the garage? Do they want to go through, go to the roof? Do they want to go? They have options. I love that that there's actually a reason to talk to your teammates rather than it just being random chat. It's like at the beginning of the game, it's like, all right, guys, what have you played on this map before? What do you guys think is going to be the best thing? Oh wait, hold on, I have a drone in there. Let me see what they're doing. All right, they're barricading this stuff up. You can just you can go in however you want, and that's how the game starts. That's what I think is really interesting. And you didn't get to see much of it, but it seems really cool.
Also, I think the fight happening in a house was really cool to show off, especially because it's I don't know, it's a really cool environment.
Tight quarters.
Yeah.
Very tight quarters.
Multiple rooms.
Yeah. And not even that. There's more than just the house, which we found out because they had a sniper positioned across the street.
Yeah. It's like a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I'm hoping that they bring in some sort of skyscraper, so I can just go from the 10th floor down to the first.
We'll see what they do. I mean, I'm sure there's probably gonna be some scaling that's gonna happen, at least in DLC, if not straight out of the box.
Yeah.
That's going to be another one that I'm like, if I get a next-gen console, I'm getting that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
On a sad note, though, they did confirm that there is no such thing as Rainbow Six Patriots anymore.
What was that? Was it like the same thing?
Get out.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All I remember is Rainbow Six Vegas, and then after that, I didn't see any Rainbow Six stuff.
I'm honestly okay with that. To me, what they showed was impressive enough to make me forget about that. So, I'm happy.
You're like that hooker that I just give money to, and you just forget that I beat you and took out all of your nails with them.
I'm the bandwagon guy. I'm like, whatever's going on, I like it. I like it. I'm happy.
Speaking of things that if we get a next-gen console, have to get, no doubt, The Division. Did we talk about that?
We mentioned it, but
we didn't full depth at like it should.
You really want to talk about The Division?
Oh, it's The Division.
Now, the one thing and maybe because it's based off a book, so
it's just you.
So maybe I was wrong about this, but I thought the original plan was that it was like economic collapse and everybody was going like the rioting. There was tons of rioting and everybody started going post-apocalyptic kind of thing. But now it's about a disease where people were dying.
I think it always was.
Was it? Okay. Well, that was a misconception. I like my story better than, no offense, Tom Clancy.
Your story's still in there because there was an economic collapse.
Right. Because of a virus, though.
So?
It's not a zombie virus, though, is it?
No. It was just
That's good.
Just an epidemic. I will say,
zombie game.
I think that was probably the most emotional trailer of E3. Like, there was Dead Island. Was that that was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Now this one was kind of like you hear like families screaming about their kids not waking up and that they're dying. You see the blood. You don't see the people, but my heart was being ripped out as I was watching that.
I love the way that they filmed that, where you didn't see the people, but you saw like their footprint in the world.
Yep.
As it was going through like a time lapse, it was beautiful.
Yep. Really, really emotional thing. But that's another one that I kind of like. I wanted to see gameplay, and I'm really anticipating.
They showed gameplay.
Yeah.
Did they when? Did they? They didn't show it during the press.
No, it was probably like the second day. They had I don't know, an IGN interview or something.
I'll have to look that up because I do want to see what they came up because the Division, didn't they scrap like everything and start over? Like
I don't know.
They showed something a while back, and then I remember there was being a thing where they were like they just didn't like the direction it was going in, so they started over.
That was Drive Club.
I wouldn't get those two mixed up. I'm pretty sure. Okay, well whatever. You would know better.
Drive Club.
You'd know better. I feel so like tense because I'm like
you should come.
Nate is the fact checker of this podcast. The fact checker.
The fact checker.
checker.
The fact checker.
Wait, what did you say?
What's
Say? The badge checker.
That's not what I said at all.
I'm
but
pretty
I
sure
mean,
that's what you said.
I'll show you how I check them.
Oh, okay.
Maybe after the podcast.
It still had door physics, car door physics. From the first trailer, had car door physics. He walked up to the car and it closed the door.
Yeah.
They still have it.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Next gen.
Oh, is that a stab at Watch Dogs? Because I will rant on Watch Dogs one day. All I want to say is, as long as they don't delay it to de-res it, I will be perfectly fine.
Now, the Division, it did get pushed back though already. It's been pushed back once. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's
'cause
a little too late for
I
that.
think it was supposed to be at the end of this year, and now
Well,
it's like
dang.
the end of next year.
Wow, really? Did they push it back that far?
I don't know. I
that.
thought it was
Yeah.
the end of next year from last I
Well,
saw.
from what they're showing, it still looks like the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
Experience.
I can't talk today.
Erksperger.
You need to stop drinking all that coffee, dude.
I'm probably gonna get another cup.
You should also stop putting the scotch in it.
Yeah.
That would probably help too.
Well, no, the scotch is what makes it coffee, right? That's how everyone takes
Why don't
coffee.
you drink some water?
It's math.
Starbucks.
So Starbucks is a thing.
All right, so let's just get through this one quick. Nintendo.
I did not see that because they didn't have a presser. They had a live stream, and I didn't know that, and I didn't watch it. So
Yoshi's Yarn. I don't know. That was a thing.
they're still sticking with
Crickets.
the same stuff, huh?
No, it's
Nothing new out of Nintendo.
Oh no. Well, I mean Smash Bros. Was
That's
there.
not
We're
new.
so
Well, I guess
gonna
that's not new.
upset everybody.
Huh?
We're so gonna accept.
No, listen. I
everybody.
love Nintendo. I love the games that they have. It's just I feel like it's the exact same thing that we were talking about what remasters are for games. It's just a money grab of the same thing, and I feel like
not remasters, but
I feel like
constant
people
sequels.
love them so much that they don't realize that they haven't come out with anything new ever, and maybe they don't have to, but every once in a while I like to see something new, at least an attempt, even if it fails.
Did
I'd
you
like to
s-
see something new.
Did you see the basically Dynasty Warriors?
Hyrule,
Hy-
Zelda.
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw
think
that.
it looks interesting, at least.
It looks interesting, but it also looks very bad.
Just looks boring. It looks like it's literally you're in an area, kill all the guys.
That's what Dynasty Warriors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's got a pretty big following.
I guess that's
but
true. I never played Dynasty.
I don't feel it's going to be the same as Dynasty Warriors, because Dynasty Warriors, they can at least
Choose multiple characters.
choose multiple
There's multiple
characters.
characters.
What
You
characters are
can-
there?
That are announced, it's Link, Zelda.
Wait, hold on. Link's in a Zelda game?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Who's
urinate
Link?
on your face.
Wait.
Link's the girl?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
No, Link's the guy.
What?
Thank you, Zane.
Then why didn't they call it Link?
It's the Legend of the Princess, dude.
Okay, I'll just like
Because
to
the
say
Legend
that.
of Link sounds so
Oh, but-
good.
Oh, because
You know what that spells? LOL,
because Zelda
which is League of Legends.
because Zelda deserves the title.
Yep.
What does she ever do?
The same thing that Peach does.
She actually was pretty cool sometimes. She was
'Cause
chic.
She's chic.
She's chic. That was cool.
She's chic.
And in this new game, she has a rapier. She's not a
Not a raper.
Rapier?
not a
I mean, she could.
not a.
Tell me more, please.
Wait, so she rapes people with a rapier?
I mean, essentially, isn't that what everyone does with a
She
rapier?
is penetrating them. It's some form of something.
Everyone's
That'd be the
childhood that's
worst.
listening to this is like, why?
That
God.
would be the worst.
There's a third announced character from the Twilight Princess. It's some
So
like
three.
cat looking. Is that her? Do you know what it's called? Some cat looking creature.
I feel bad.
MIDA something.
Zelda was kind of a
Mida?
something I missed
Mida?
out on. I played Ocarina of
Mida.
Time, but that was it. And I feel bad. I feel like I need to go and play like all the Zeldas. I feel like I'm missing out.
Good luck with all this.
Yes.
And you should
I just gotta do
remember
it.
that you are broke.
Who said I had to buy the games? Who said that? I don't know. Hyrule Warrior just I don't know. It seems like there's nothing to it. It seems like it's literally just once again another game where it's like, "Hey, remember that game you like? Well, here's something else you can do that's kind of different."
Yeah.
It's like
Hey.
it sounds like DLC to me more so than a game.
Also with Zelda, they got the new Legend of Zelda game coming out, and it actually does look really. They didn't show really that much, but it was gameplay, and it
is
looked.
that the realistic one that they showed a while back?
No, it looked pretty cartoony.
Okay.
But it looked really, really good in the HD. Actually, like it looked real good
In the HD.
in the HD.
In them HDs.
In them HDs. And if you notice, if you watch the progression of Link through the games, he keeps getting more and more feminine. He has become like such an elf.
Sounds like
he is an elf, but
sounds like a Japanese company. So
yeah.
They
I
just
don't
need
know.
to get some. They need to experiment. I mean, yeah, they're experimenting with features, but they need to try and create a new IP.
or at least something.
I think they've
At
tried
least
a couple.
one a year. I feel like one a year would be acceptable.
I think they just
Nintendo.
have given up because every time they've tried, it hasn't worked. There was
Yeah.
Zombie U that got terrible reviews.
But personally, I feel like their greatest games are the cutesy, fun, stupid ones. Make something like that. Just don't make it the same characters. That's what I'm telling them to do. Make a new character.
They do have a new game coming out, actually.
What
it's
game?
like a little cutesy shooter thing where both teams have paint guns, and they're like squid people, basically. So they can, if you lay
Squid
down...
people does not sound cute to me. Just saying.
They look cute, I swear.
I'm picturing this horrific monster.
You can make a path. You can make a path of paint, and then you can swim in your paint so you go around the map faster.
That does sound
and then you
interesting.
shoot at people.
That does sound interesting.
That can be taken wrong out of context.
Shooting paint?
Squid people?
Shooting paint and then swimming in your own paint.
Wait, does the paint come out of you because you're squid people?
No, you have a little...
Like, are you inking on the ground?
You have a paintball gun. I think you have a... Maybe they're inking.
Maybe they're inking.
I'm gonna ink all over the place.
But you also shoot the other players with your paint, and however much paint they get on them. Like
However many much?
paint.
English.
Words.
Well, jumping from one Japanese company to another, we had a little bit of a lack from a certain company, which we really wanted to hear from them. Square
fuck
Enix. For
Will you fuck
I'm
off?
gonna set Nate off on this one. Square Enix. I was anticipating something, and they did announce something, didn't they? But not what we thought they were going to. I was waiting for Kingdom Hearts and a Final Fantasy, and I heard nothing of those two.
They got a Final Fantasy. They announced a Final Fantasy.
They've announced them. I'm
Oh,
saying
nothing
like
from it.
something more.
Well, they
new
announced
trailer.
under the radar pretty much that Final Fantasy Agito and Type 0 will be coming, but
Nothing on a number.
nothing. Well, they also pre-announced. Not pre-announced. They announced before E3 that
How do you pre-announce?
Kingdom Hearts 2.5 will be coming October to Japan and in December to everywhere else, which I was looking forward to a worldwide release.
Mhm.
Other than that, if you're looking for Final Fantasy 15 or Kingdom Hearts 3, well, they went back to trolling again and decided that
Those two games
No.
are hanging out with a Half-Life
Yeah.
3. So
those two games are hanging out with Half-Life 3. This is the reason why I hated EA's press conference. This one. Because just talking about a game just in development does not hype me. What hypes me is you showing the game. Is you at least going through and putting together some sort of trailer, some sort of gameplay demonstration. Not showing me just some random model or just being, oh, well, this is how we came up with the concept of the character. I can get that
Dead
off of the
Diaries.
internet later. I can get that off of the disc in unlockable content or some
True.
other stuff. That's like if someone was to release the full special features for like the next Star Wars movie and not release a trailer for like 3 years and just say it's coming
But speaking of which,
because it's been like a decade.
I would
since
totally
Kingdom
be
Hearts.
okay with Star Wars coming out with some more stuff.
Were it like games like Star Wars 13 that didn't come?
Nope, I'm talking about like the new movie. I'd be okay with them releasing some special features. Bring it on.
Why?
Just saying.
What?
You made that point.
This is E3.
You made no. He said like if Star Wars didn't put out a full special features thing, but they didn't release a trailer. I'm just saying I'd be totally okay with them putting out some special features. Let's do that.
But okay. Not
Moving
for
on.
some giant press conference where you literally
Right.
everyone's there for something more.
Right.
Not for you to come out, hey, well, the color blue inspired me to make this character, which you don't know nothing about. You've never seen them you've never seen them in action. You don't know their motivation or anything. You don't even know how they fight or if they'll, pique your interest or at all
Yeah.
take the show. But color blue is
Pretty
their
cool.
style.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah?
I do
You
like
that?
color blue. I think we're harping on the same thing that we said earlier was there's just a lack of gameplay all around. I mean, I would have liked to see a lot more playable stuff sooner. But going from playable stuff, I'm going to move away from this subject because we could go on for hours on it.
Well, at least
playable stuff.
Let me finish.
What do you want to say?
Okay, I just want to say this E3 is worse
Well
than
spoken,
the
Nate.
last one.
Well spoken.
This
Jesus.
E3 is worse than the last one.
Really? I
me, it
disagree with
was.
you. I totally disagree with you because the last one was all about consoles.
But the last one had announcements that were like
Announcements that
absolute
threw
megatons.
announcements that threw people into frenzies that made them change a bunch of crap. I mean,
Yeah,
But they
it was
announced
still more
things
exciting
that were
of a
there were
conference.
there were
maybe
I was much more present during that one.
Yeah.
This one I was kind of like
this
looking
one,
away from the screen.
Yeah, this one was like, there was occasionally like peaks in interest, like Assassin's Creed Unity, but there was never that surprise reveal, like Kingdom Hearts 3 or Final Fantasy 15 or like what did Microsoft?
maybe that's true.
Halo 5.
Halo, yeah.
Everything that they did like come back to this year was already announced last year, or it was like a very, very small game that not a lot of people were hyped for, or it was like a remake.
I get that. I can understand not having anything surprise you at this one, but I will say, and maybe I'm just different on this subject, but I'm just excited to see more stuff. I'm totally okay. Like Far Cry 4, the Master Chief Collection, Halo 5. Even them talking about not really seeing much, but the series that's going to be coming out with it. I'm okay with that, and that's what excited me more so than I guess anything that surprised. I do understand what you're saying though.
But that's the weird thing. So basically, Far Cry 4, that would have been a megaton for me if they would have announced it at E3 and not beforehand, like a month.
Hardline was, however, leaked on accident. It was supposed to be a big announcement.
I
supposedly.
feel like that is such bullshit that they actually intentionally leaked that. And I could rant on this, but
maybe.
I
But why?
just feel like they intentionally leaked it. So
Maybe, but why?
It's a
Why
good
would you leak
tactic.
it?
I
Why?
feel that-
Right before your press conference, why would you leak it? You're taking one tactic out and losing another. Instead of it being an announcement, it becomes a leak. But then you're arguing on what is a better marketing plan.
I mean, if they did it earlier than that,
I guess
if they did it like a leak, because then it generates hype, and then
But I'm
just
saying leak something when you're not about to do a reveal.
Well, also it may get more people talking about it than other than just being like, oh, they did this conference. It's now, did you hear it got leaked?
Yeah.
And then it spreads faster.
I don't know. I'll just leave it up to the audience. Do you think that they leaked it intentionally, or do you think that they actually had a real leak
But
all over the place?
moving on. Wow.
I leaked
a
all
leak,
over
a
the
leak all over the
place.
place. Dear God.
They couldn't hold their bladder.
The mental
They
images.
couldn't hold it
of
back
that.
for E3. They just had to release.
But speaking of things that you actually can get in your hands and play, we all played the Destiny Alpha. Zane, what did you think of it? You were the first one to play it out of all of us.
Yeah.
And you know the most actually about the game. You studied it.
I didn't studied a long time.
How many hours did you play?
I just sat down for a really long time on Friday. Yeah, Friday. I sat down probably for
You know that it's Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So a really long time.
So a
He
really
said-
long
he said
time.
it. What'd you think?
It was amazing. It's beautiful. I think the interface is really nice. Loading times weren't that great, but it's an alpha. Especially for an alpha, everything seemed so crisp. So it was all really good. Only a few little things with the models of the weapons that were off or the character. And that's really all I saw that was wrong with it.
Yeah.
Everything seemed pretty good. The classes seemed like they weren't too varied at the moment, though.
Right.
It all seemed like each class got their basic grenade, except one was magic or whatever it is. And then there's specials.
One was magic.
One was Nova Bomb, whatever it
Yeah.
was. But their specials were pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
That's where they really differed in this alpha, but I still didn't think it was a big enough difference to sell me on one.
Okay. So, but you like the game, essentially.
Yeah, I love it. It's sold to me.
Well, Nate, what did you think? You played a little bit less, but what did you think?
I'm getting it.
You're getting it?
I'm getting the bundle.
Sold ya? You're getting the
Probably
bundle.
I'm
Wow,
probably
okay.
gonna get the bundle. Hey, it's a white PS4 plus I get that game.
It is a sweet bundle.
The only thing I will say is that they need to figure out the hunter, because right now he seems a little glassy for me.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by glassy?
Like he gets killed very easily, and then his sniper rifle is a special weapon. But
The hunter was actually one of my favorites playing, but I couldn't tell why. Because I thought that the Titan was better up close, and I thought the sorcerer was better up far away. The hunter seemed so out of place, but for some reason I really liked that.
Right.
I want a sword.
Well,
Just throw some swords in it.
well, I definitely love the game. I think it was I think it's convinced me actually. It was good enough. And this is a shout out to anybody thinking about getting a PS4. Get a PS4 just for Destiny. I'm gonna probably get my own PS4 just so I can get Destiny.
Isn't Destiny coming to the Xbox One?
It's I want it. Well, yeah, but everybody's gonna get on PS4, and they have the bundle. I'm probably gonna get the bundle as well. Funny you mention it. It was a really good game. I do think for an alpha, it was beautiful and amazing. I've played some terrible alphas in my time, but
Easy.
but
Easy.
it does have some balancing issues. There's one character or
I know what
enemy in
you're
that
talking
thing.
about.
And I'm sure anybody that got into the alpha knows, but for those who didn't get into the alpha, there's this tank thing that you have to. Essentially, even at max level, max
called,
level
like,
for the alpha was 8.
The death something.
Yeah, it's
killer
it's
something.
essentially a tank. It's essentially a gigantic
It's a spider
six-legged
tank. Yeah.
tank, and it takes a good 10-20 minutes just to kill the thing. With 2 people maxed out level, me and Nate went after that thing. It took about 10-15 minutes to kill the thing. It's too much.
I think
and it wasn't challenging.
Now that I think about it, though, if you look at how many players were able to go into the strike, that's probably why it was such a hard boss.
Maybe.
Because you can have like 10 people in one strike.
Yeah.
Maybe, but and maybe we'll see it later on how well that goes. But I just felt like it was a thing of there wasn't much scaling. It was you're fighting normal enemies, and then just this one guy that just takes all of your ammo. And when I mean all your ammo, I mean I literally had 3 guns, full ammo, ran out of them, had to replenish them, and then ran out of ammo the second time around.
Also,
it's too much.
That boss didn't keep things fun. It was more just dodge, come back, shoot, dodge, come back, shoot.
There was a pattern to it.
Routine.
For that boss, it wasn't. I don't think it was supposed to be for 2 people. I think it was literally supposed to be one of those public events that they were first announced.
Right, but
because
like I
it's
said,
an
the boss thing was in the free roam, and you're not going to have 10 people all together at once in free roam either. So it's
that's probably where the fire teams come in and everything.
Which we were in a fire team, but you still, I mean, you're not going to have 10 people roaming at the same time unless you really are. I mean, depending on how much they support the MMO aspect of this game,
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like you just have to go up to a player, click down on the analog, click options, ask them to join, and hopefully they'll join. So it seems like it's a pretty good system for like finding buddies and stuff.
I just felt like that guy was not interesting enough of a boss to be that strong. So I think, and it's an alpha, but I think there's a little bit of a balancing issue, at least with that one guy. I didn't feel like there was much else to really comment on that was that bad.
Yeah.
I think it was mostly a stress test.
Yeah. We'll see
more
on the
than anything.
beta, but I feel like for that type of enemy, there's going to be a waypoint that shows up for optional for people to do that, as it's like basically a raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
have
then-
the
so
public
the-
events
yeah.
or whatever they're called.
So it'll be a public event where it literally shows up on everyone's HUD, and it's all, hey, this giant tank's over here. You should
Yeah.
probably go kill it and get some awesome loot. And
Yeah.
then you'll have like 20, 30 people or something.
I definitely, the one thing I will say I kind of wanted was an indicator on the level of area I was in. Because I remember by the way,
Did you go
we-
downstairs? Is that
I
what
need
you did?
arrows.
we had 2 Let's Plays that are going to be coming out this week in Destiny. So look on the site look on our channel, I guess. We don't have a site, but our channel for those to kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. We came across these not two, it was a whole group of question mark enemies. And I was like, let's fight them. And then suddenly my fully upgraded weapon at max level for the alpha was doing 1 damage.
I'm pretty sure if it has question marks, it was supposed to be like a level 20 or something.
I don't know, but it killed us, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I didn't die.
well, we did die the one time, didn't we?
I never
I
died.
did.
I
think
never
died
die.
once.
Never die. That was a
Respawn.
game.
I had to keep reviving you. That's what had to happen.
Yeah, well, it essentially just killed us, and it was kind of weird because it was right next to a level 8 area where all of them were level 8s and level 6s and 7s, and then suddenly what's essentially a level 20 right next to it. That just seems like that's a weird
It wasn't
mesh.
right
that's-
next to it. It was like down in a cave with a bunch of green rocks and stuff.
Yeah, but it didn't. I feel like you should scale up to level 20s if it was a level 20. It was a level question mark, so you can't really tell what their level they are. But I feel like that was a weird, like, oh, suddenly now you're dropped in and it's impossible for you to kill these guys, which is pretty tough.
This is totally off subject,
Kryptonite.
but it's still about Destiny. I forgot. Last night I found out, I mean, nothing's confirmed, but the Grimoire, or whatever they're called, trading cards, if you go to the website and you look under the races cards, it has the 3 races, human, whatever they're called, and the exo. Awoken and the exo. And then there's a card that's not marked and it says to be found or whatever. So potential for a 4th race in the thing,
Yep,
which is pretty cool.
that would be cool.
Are there any more classes?
No, not by the cards. There's no classes.
Not
but
announced.
it is kind of an MMO, so they're probably gonna give us more content in the future along classes and.
We'll see. I feel like the classes didn't make much of a difference. I played all of them. I played the tank. I mean, essentially they did do the holy trinity of DPS, support, and tank, but at the same time they were so generic that I didn't feel like none of them really followed that you have to be this class to do this
But
kind of thing.
something you said earlier was, again, this is like very early level stuff. Maybe once you start getting to higher levels,
Yeah,
there is a little lock button,
yeah.
and we don't really know what that does yet, and that may open in new trees and new abilities, and that
True.
may be
Very
where the classes start to actually divide and become a little more interesting.
True.
Yeah.
So I think everything's really just a time thing.
Right.
I want some more customization.
I think only having 3 races was a little disappointing. I like the races, but I kind of feel like I feel like what would have been a great idea is putting like what the races are. Like the trading cards give a little bit of background on the races. That would have been cool to see in the game. So I kind of knew why I would choose a little bit more RPG like. Why I would choose to be a human, robot, or a.
Oh, also
Awoken.
finding those cards was so hard. If you try to find them on the Bungie site, it's so hard. You have to search up where it is and then just type in the IP.
Yeah.
They should make that more easily accessible through their website. But I guess that was my only other problem with the alpha, which isn't even with the alpha.
Yeah. Something separate.
Alphas, whatever.
I definitely am excited for the full on beta, or for the beta and the full game. That's definitely gonna be really cool.
Yep. Hopefully they don't break it before then.
Yeah, well,
Battlefield.
I mean, it's in good hands though. But Bungie's been reliable
hmm
for the most part, right?
but Bungie makes great stuff. I mean, I am a personal fan because I love Halo. So, when it comes to the aesthetic of everything, I will say that's one thing I think is interesting about it is the feel
It
of the gameplays feels like Halo.
Feels like Halo.
The hub world looks like Mass Effect, and the scaling system feels like
Borderlands. Your memory
yeah.
sucks.
I always forget. Yeah, it feels like Borderlands,
I think I
which is
will-
okay.
One thing
me.
I hope that they improve on is the loot system, because I saw that it was present, like there were things to loot, but it
Yeah.
wasn't very MMO-esque with the looting system. It was every once in a while you'll pick up ammo or maybe find a box that gives you money, glimmer.
Glimmer.
Which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I do think that does need refined though. I think
I feel like a Borderlands system with that, maybe not like the gazillion guns thing, but
yeah.
getting
Lots
getting
of
like
trash.
maybe a drop on a enemy every once in a while.
I can see that.
Like,
think
it
the-
doesn't happen as often
think
as
the-
it should.
I think the quest givers need to be better. Personally, I think it's weird walking up to a random glowing light and then getting a quest.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of weird and immersion breaking. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there should have been at least every once in a while there been a person
Yeah.
that you talk to or something like that. That could have been nice.
It's a little bit difficult to actually find your way in buildings,
Yeah.
as we found out.
Also, when you're not on a speed bike or whatever they're called,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to find a mission, it's a little obnoxious having to pull up your little ghost guy every time you want to see where you're going,
Yeah.
because then you can't shoot, and if there's enemies, I don't know. It's probably not that bad, but for me, it was a little obnoxious having to.
Yeah, but I mean nobody would get off their ships otherwise.
Yeah.
No one would get off the mounts.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to put limitations somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought the weapons were really
No, you
really
can-
refined too.
You can find missions on your thing, on your bike.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like being on a bike and being able to fight enemies and things like that.
No,
while
no,
on a
no.
bike.
I'm saying that when you're off of a bike, finding the waypoint is a little obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
When you're on a bike, it's easy because it just shows up and you can just press it again and you keep driving to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you walk slower whenever you have the ghost in your hand, and you can't shoot with it in your hand. So
Right. I think the ghost factor needs to be more defined. I feel like the only time I ever took out my ghost was to tell me where I needed to go,
yeah,
which is
or to scan something.
yeah, which is weird because it's like, well, then why do you need to have that whole animation? Why do you need to slow down? I felt like the voice acting of the ghost seems kind of boring. At first, I thought it was me talking to myself, and then I realized the
Like
ghost
it was the
apparently is
character,
talking to
yeah.
you. Yeah, I don't get that. And I feel like they need to put some either voice modulation or something to make it more identifiable than it just being a random dude talking in your ear.
Well, I think it's also supposed to be like robots have advanced so far that it's supposed to be like that.
I personally don't like that.
Like
I
that's
think that's a bad
that's what the
choice.
Exo are. They were created to be
But they
so
s-
perfect that they're human-like and they don't know
But there's
who made them.
there's exos in the hub world, and they have voice modulation. It's not just normal talking.
Though
There's a little bit of robot tinge to their voice.
those are. Oh yeah, I guess I see where you're coming from.
I think that needs to be anything. So, E3 weekend, alpha, beta, everything. Final thoughts, Zane, go.
It was a fun experience, but I always like E3. Not as great as I was hoping it was, but still a lot of announcements that were exciting and that I'm looking forward to. Still, all the dates are a little too far off for what I would like, but overall, E3 was good.
Nate,
Okay. So I have a
make
list.
it short. Make it short. We're
Alright,
wrapping up.
alright. Mortal Kombat X actually looks pretty good,
Mhm.
despite the trailer that they released, which had everyone kind of questioning it. Metal Gear Solid 5, of course, looks amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Ratchet and Clank movie, still questionable. Probably still going to see it, though.
I'm gonna see.
They had Uncharted 4. That was sexy. New trailer.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, Let It Die was weird. I don't know what the hell that is.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. And I think my highlight of my week was the alpha. I got on that and I was just playing it constantly. E3 was great. I'm really excited to see more. And I'm really hyped. I'm gonna try my best to try to get a next gen console by the time all these are estimated to come out. October is gonna be a big month for us this year. But hopefully we'll be seeing more information, more gameplay, more mechanics and things like that. But otherwise, it was a great in my opinion, a good E3. And I think with that, if we missed anything, guys, let us know.
Arkham Knight.
Like,
we definitely
comment,
missed a lot of stuff.
I want
but
Arkham
it was
Knight.
running too long.
Like, comment, subscribe, tell us about what we are. We'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
And let's look forward to Arkham Knight.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, and
Let's
now
play
it's
Grand
deep
Theft Auto
in the
5.
ocean.
If I ever fight.
You're gonna. Oh.
Fuck you!
When last? Oh God, no! No! I'm alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Still alive.
Wait, time out. I gotta call the insurance company. Oh, dude, there's bitches over
Time
here.
out. I have to
Oh.
join your guys' session.
Oh, that was awkward.
Dude,
Bitch is all for me. Hey, what's up, girls? What's up? Don't run away. No, the gun's you're supposed to be attracted to the gun. Oh yeah, I got you now.
Wait, so insurance will
I got you
take
now.
your car
Don't
off?
move. You bitch.
This feels like
I literally hit record and then slammed my hand on the desk. I am the worst podcaster ever.
Don't move. All right.
All right, welcome to the Lazy Revolver podcast, where we talk about pretty much anything we want.